Hello and welcome to NUFS. I'm Mike.
I'm Clay.
And we're here to talk about some movies. It's August, which is generally just an uncomfortable month from the heat. But very comfortable movie at the box office generally. We get some late summer hits. I'm pretty excited about a couple of these. Some of these are really unique and fun and interesting. A lot of sequels still, obviously, because that's just what Hollywood does nowadays.
Summer.
And, I'd really like, there to be fewer sequels, but I cannot complain with the slate of interesting looking films that we have this month. So why don't we go ahead and get started? We'll take a look at the trailer here for our first film.
Mr. Graff, I can understand your passion, and I don't mind having these conversations with you because, God forbid, if it was my child, I'd be demanding answers too. Those kids walked out of those homes. No one pulled them out. No one forced them. What do you see that I don't?
Okay, weapons. I mean, that might be the most effective trailer that I've seen in a long time in terms of just generating excitement and curiosity in me.
Oh yeah.
I've seen subsequent trailers, and honestly, I didn't even want to see those. I saw this and I was interested. Now, Zach Cregger's, I believe this is one of his earlier works. He's been around for a long time. He was in Whitest Kids You Know. He was in the whole run of that show and all that, but he's just recently started working in horror films, and he did the film Barbarian a couple years ago, which I haven't seen yet. Did you see that one?
I did see Barbarian.
What'd you think?
Terrifying. It was
Terrifying?
it was very well done. It was kind of like this one actually. This trailer, the Barbarian's trailer, they really didn't spoil much. They didn't tell you. It was very confusing. What's going on? They made it very clear it was a horror story, and that there was something about this house that these people were staying in, that there was something wrong.
Yeah.
They did not explain what it was, and so when I did finally see the movie, it was very shocking, and a lot of people were like, "Oh my God!" It was very. Because they got, it was all to the midpoint when it's revealed what's kind of going on, and that was creepy, and it wouldn't have been as effective if they had warned us in advance what was going on. And it looks like they're kind of going the same route with this one.
Hopefully,
this trailer. I have seen some of the other subsequent trailers too, and those trailers are actually pretty good too. I would say this one is the really good hook where they're not really telling you anything; they're just giving you this
Something deeply unsettling. Seeing the T-posing kids
running off,
they're glitching, and
yeah, they're running out. And then of course that's the other interesting thing that and this was true of Barbarian as well. You have this trailer that really you don't know what's going on here. It involves all these children all running away at the same time, synchronized at night.
So creepy.
Afterwards, the parents not knowing why and not being uncertain, and then you get a title that seemingly has nothing to do with it, just weapons, because you thought maybe if the title had been something like Suffer the Little Children or The Little Kids or something, you'd get it. This one's called Weapons, and you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense with what you, and then you realize, you start trying to figure out what's going on, and it's did someone weaponize the children?
Who knows?
That's what you start wondering, and it makes it even scarier, because the title doesn't seem to match what we just saw. Same thing happened with Barbarian, because it looks like a haunted house movie they're setting up or something, but then they're calling it Barbarian, and they're like, wait, what? And it makes sense when you see the movie in context then.
So I assume the weapons title will make sense.
It probably will when you actually, but you got to watch it, so they're just stay tuned. It's a great way to hook people and make them all right, I got to see what's going on there.
Yeah. You don't really see it in this trailer, but it's got a great cast. You got Josh Brolin, Julia Gardner, who's in Wolfman. Yep. She's in Fantastic Four. You got Han Solo's in there, the actor who played Han Solo in the Solo movie.
Young
Alden Ehrenreich, or
he's been in quite a few. Good
he was in Cocaine Bear.
Yes, he was. He was in Oppenheimer. Actually.
He was in Oppenheimer.
Yes,
I did not know that.
And he was also he was one of the senator aides, I believe, in that one.
Oh.
But he was also in. He got his big start in that Coen Brothers
Hail Caesar. I was going to say, I really liked him in Hail Caesar.
He's great. That was his breakout role.
I thought that his role was he's like a cowboy actor who has to get transitioned into a melodrama and just like can't do it. It's
They
very funny.
They find a way, but he's the future, really, in some ways of the society. But yeah, and then, you know, it does. It's a pretty strong cast for this, and it's clearly a horror movie that they're going for.
Yeah.
And release it in August here. That's when we get because it's been for a while now. Pretty good month to release a horror movie, because the idea being, okay, we got a scary movie. It's in the movie theaters in August, so that by the time this thing probably, you know, gets to video or whatever for streaming, it's Halloween time.
Perfect.
So it's like they're getting their kind of priming the pump for that season.
We've already talked about Zach Cregger's the director or his previous work, but the director of photography on this film has like just a laundry list of great films that he's worked on, and music videos too. He did the This Is America music video with Childish Gambino, which is a great music video. He was the director of photographer for a movie called I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Okay.
Which, have you seen that one?
I know of it. I wasn't able to see
Elijah
that.
Wood, and it's very funny, and you know, in a very strange way. But you know, A24 type movies basically. Not that I think even that one was the A24, but I'm sure this movie's gonna look great. The trailer looks great.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be one of the movies we're gonna be talking about for a while too, just because it's probably going to be one of those horror movies that people really keep revisiting.
I heard a rumor that this script was out there, and that what's his face there, the guy from Jordan Peele.
Oh, sure.
He wanted it so badly that when he didn't get the script, he like got mad at his team for not being able to like get this script, because he wanted to direct it so bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like that tells you how good it is.
It does quite a bit, and he's a busy man too. So the fact that he's like,
not only did he want it so badly that he like got mad at his team, but like he just wanted it that badly to begin with. It makes me think it's probably a good script.
And as you mentioned, the director of this film, got kind of started in the comedy world.
Yep.
Actually, that's Jordan Peele as well.
Yes,
We're seeing this weird trend that's pretty effective, where comedians they can do horror too. It's just kind of a little surprising too, because even the last few Halloween movies were written by guys who are normally associated with comedy. It's kind of strange.
Because they got twisted minds, man.
Yeah, that's it. I think there's just that switch. They can, if you're good at comedy, you can kind of do the scary stuff too. It works really effectively in this strange way. So that I think, we gotta praise this movie too, just because again, it's original IP.
Hey,
we love it.
Excellent.
We're talking about, we don't want to see all these sequels and remake. This is original. I don't know. I don't even know if I've seen a film. I'm trying to think of films that are even like this in tone. The closest thing I can think of is it's an older movie they did remake in the 90s, The Village of the Damned, where the whole plot of the whole town falls asleep for about a few hours, and everyone who walks into the city limit falls asleep, and then for some reason, but then all of a sudden they all wake up and it's like nothing happened, just like for some weird sickness hit the town.
Yeah.
But then they find out that pretty much every woman of age is pregnant. It's all timed to that time period, and then they give birth to weird alien children.
That's creepy. I think that is based on a historical thing, though, where not necessarily the pregnant part, but like there was a town that had a sleeping sickness that went through, and everybody fell asleep, which is like...
That might be kind of... And the thing is, the original movie was British. It's from the 60s. And really creepy. They did remake it in the 90s. And the 90s one's kind of infamous because it was directed by John Carpenter, but it wasn't one of his better remembered ones.
Yep. Okay, yeah. 90s Carpenter is like, that's the...
It was also the last movie Christopher Reeves was in before he got paralyzed.
Oh, yeah.
But it was but it's something worth checking out too. That's the closest I think I have a feel for this one. So I'm really excited just for the originality idea of this. And of course I gotta see it.
We're gonna start with an original film, but we're gonna probably go right to a remake here to take a look. So we'll take a look at our next trailer, which I'm pretty sure is a remake here. So let's take a look.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop. What do you want, little one?
Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
That's the sound of the police.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you. Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss you.
Sound of the police. I got to say, see ya, 'cause I would never be ya.
So not exactly a remake. Spiritual sequel. we'll call it.
Legacy
Legacy sequel.
legacy sequel. That's exactly where they're going for with this. I thought when this movie was first announced, I thought they were going to go the remake route. Actually, I thought they're just a reboot or something
I
like
mean,
that.
you could never
But-
remake the first one is so funny.
It is. It's so good. But that's clearly with that last little scene there. That's what they're going for. This is it's a legacy sequel. He's supposed to be the son of the original Frank Drebin, who was famously played by Leslie Nielsen,
Yep.
and now we have Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. That's got to be a part of the joke too. Just
I'm
having
sure,
similar.
yeah.
It's kind of funny, and even that last joke was just like. We got to make sure you understand that this is a legacy sequel, so I'm gonna look at my dad and
Yep.
everyone. But the joke is
all of them
everybody's,
doing it.
every character's kid from the previous film, and then they have to end on the OJ joke to make sure everyone realizes, yes, OJ Simpson was in the
He
first
was in
3
the-
films
yeah.
of this thing, and one of the reasons they probably stopped doing them is because the third movie came out within months of the trial.
Yep.
So the movie was in theaters right as he was going to trial, and so that was awkward. And
One of those things that's really funny is that James Cameron wanted OJ as the original Terminator, but they couldn't believe him as a killer, so they said, "No, we can't do OJ." So and they end up casting Arnold Schwarzenegger instead.
it's one of those just strange jokes, but it's true. We probably would have gotten more of the Naked Gun films back in the 90s if not for that problem to some
Yeah,
extent.
because Leslie Nielsen went on to just
Yeah.
do other kind of Naked Gun style
Yeah, he did a bunch
movies.
of parodies. He did Spy Hard,
Yeah.
Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Worked with Mel Brooks for a bit
Yep.
there, and most of the cast, would have was still going and acting for years after that too. But they
You couldn't get away from that OJ thing.
they couldn't do it, but they brought it back finally for the legacy reboot here, and I'm kind of excited just because. We don't get a lot of parody movies these days.
I know, right?
They went away, and I think that's just because
They got
the
really
internet.
bad.
That too, but because they just went into a bunch of them where they were just the spoof movie would be
They
like
were just factory films. There was no
they would
fun.
say like what they were parodying in the title of
Yeah.
the movie or the disaster movie or epic movie, and then they just got okay.
It was all references, not actual jokes.
They weren't. Yeah, exactly. They didn't know how to do the parody. The only person. Leslie Nielsen was the guy keeping it. If he was in it, then maybe it had a potential there.
I liked Scary Movie 3.
Yeah, that was the best one because he was in it and they knew it. And they actually
I say the first one's probably the best one. Steven likes the second one. I'm not as big a fan of the second one. I like the third one better.
third one's better. But that's just we kind of lost it as an art there for a while. I think internet, because people can turn around so quickly and do their own little shorter spoofs, kind of ruined it for the long form version of spoofs. But what I'm interested about this one is, yes, again, we're getting the police spoof again, but it looks like they're spoofing the concept of legacy sequels too.
Good.
So that's something we do probably need, and they're probably going to be mocking the concept of the IP that we won't let die. That too.
I have a lot of faith in Seth MacFarlane as the producer, and then Akiva Schaffer as the director from Lonely Island. So sketch comedy and tons of comedy chops involved. My dad saw the trailer for this, and he questioned if Liam Neeson was going to be able to be funny enough. And I was like, Dad, have you seen anything he's done where he's done comedy?
And
he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, you got to watch, he did, was it Extras that he did with
Yeah, I think so.
or was it, he's been in a few things over.
Well, he's worked with Seth MacFarlane before in
Yes.
comedy. He guest starred on the Family Guy TV series as himself.
He was in a quick scene in Ted 2.
Ted 2, very funny scene in
yes,
Ted 2.
yeah.
And actually, it wasn't as huge as a success, but Seth MacFarlane did A Million Ways to Die in the
Yep.
West about 10 years ago, and Liam Neeson's the bad guy in that one. And I like that movie more than a lot of other people do, to be honest with you. So he can do it. We know he's pretty effective at it. And it's just funny because when you think about Liam Neeson, his career started out as being this very serious, dramatic actor, transitioned into being the tough guy actor, and a lot of those, like the Taken movies and a bunch of other things. There was a cycle there where he was this big tough guy actor who was like doing roles that would have gone to Arnold Schwarzenegger years ago or something, and it was effective. He was good at it.
Well, you know.
And it was really worked. And now he's going into, I want to do comedy, silly, ridiculous comedy films.
I'm okay with it.
Me too.
All right. Well, I think we'll talk about our next film here, which I believe is a Bad Guys 2. It should be it's a fun little kids movie. I thought this came out forever ago. My wife and I were sitting watching Poker Face on Peacock, and a trailer comes in between the ads and for Bad Guys 2. I was like, didn't that come out like 2 years ago? I was wrong. Apparently it's coming out now.
The original came out.
Yeah. Well, no, but the original came out a couple years ago, but I swear I saw the trailer for this like a year and a half ago.
Maybe.
Let's take a look at the trailer for Bad Guys 2.
3, 2, 1. Showtime.
Now you want to work at a bank. Why not?
You robbed us 3 times. That was this bank?
The Bad Guys.
I'm keeping my eye on you, guys.
What was that? I panicked, okay? I'm a panicked.
The Bad Girls.
Sounds kind of made up.
You talk pretty tough for a mango with teeth.
What? Is that what I look like? Insult me next.
Get tickets now
Master of Disguise, do your thing.
One of your size. And one of my size.
for the baddest comedy of the summer.
You ever been deboned by a chicken?
We need to show the world we're good. First time for everything, right?
Are you kidding me? Lefty loosey, righty tighty.
Oh, right.
The Bad Guys 2 in theaters August 1st.
Did you see the first one?
I did not.
I did. It was pretty fun. You know, it's I'm pretty sure it's DreamWorks. You know, like, did you see Sing?
I'm familiar with Sing. I didn't see that one.
All right.
I don't get to see as many of these cartoons.
I see all the cartoons.
You
Clay.
have to.
This is like
I know.
all I do is I just walk in and they're already watching them, and I have to sit down and consume all of these. The Bad Guys ones was pretty good. It was fun.
Okay.
You know, it's nothing crazy special or anything like that, but the kids like it, and you know, I think the Sing movies are really good.
Mm-hmm.
The Bad Guys one I think wasn't quite as good, but it was still good. You know, a lot of fun moments in it. Sam Rockwell is charming as ever.
Sure.
And you know, it has sort of like an Oceans vibe with like, you got the team of guys that got to do the heist, but they're only doing it because they got to be
But they're
like,
really, there's
you know,
someone worse or something.
there's always somebody playing them behind the scenes so that they
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because they're good guys, but they're like everyone.
So we're
thinks
bringing
they're
the
like-
classic heist film stuff to
Yes, to children.
Children, which, you know, it's probably pretty appropriate.
Yeah, my kids steal stuff all the time.
Got it. Yeah, you know,
Oh my
they got
God.
to teach them the way.
So they freaking. Sorry, this is a not total non sequitur. It involves stealing though. My wife and I bought 48 ice cream like bars. You know?
Yeah.
It's 48 ice cream bars. Like it was the Snickers ice creams and then popsicles. And in one day, Clay, I kid you not, in one day, every single one of them was gone. My wife and I did not get one of them. They just,
Well, I mean, to be fair,
they
you have
rifled through that
should
freezer.
be noted you have a horde of
I
children.
have 7
so-
kids, but still, it's like 2,000 calories in ice cream alone each if they all share equally. Like, it's so much.
You got to kind of expect that.
I expected them to get into it. I did. I absolutely did. I did not expect them to eat 48 ice creams in a day.
It's just nice because, you know, some of them are very young, so obviously the older ones were assisting them.
I hope they were and not just hoarding, because then they had even more than 2,000 calories worth of ice cream in a day.
Well, we'll have to do a check on that. But, you know, I hope they didn't learn that from watching the original.
I think they did. They
Think
watched
so?
Bad Guys.
Oh,
they're
boy.
they're getting into the heists. I think is
Well,
what it is.
hopefully they took a good message about, you know, because from what I understand about the original one, it's the big bad wolf. He learns that it feels better to be good, you know, because being the good boy when his tail
but
starts wagging.
Everyone, you know, assumes he's the bad guy because he's the wolf. Mm-hmm. So he gets kind of have to play against that role. And it looks like they're going to do some similar things. Again, erase all. It's, you know, kids movies. Erase all the progress from the last movie. Reset them into a new.
Well, it looks like just from this, and I've seen a different trailer of this one time when I was at theaters.
Was it like 2 years ago? Because I swear this trailer.
It was earlier than this year. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
I think you're right. They probably held the movie back. I think it was probably going to come out earlier in the year.
think
and
so.
They probably, Because to be honest with you, I don't know how many often these cartoon movies come out in August. They're usually May or June.
I swear it's more than a year ago I saw the trailer.
It's possible that they had like a teaser trailer, but because they wanted people to know about it. But from the look of this version, it looks like they are trying to do good, but people keep expecting to be bad. And it looks like we're going to bring in the bad girls group, and they're going to kind of force them to kind of help them, and they don't want to, so they have to fight back. So it's
I'm imagining they're going to teach the bad girls to be good.
Maybe, or they might be the main villains through the whole thing. We'll see. But that kind of reminds me of, because we mentioned like the Ocean's 11 films. The plot of Ocean's 12 is they're forced to do stuff that they don't want to because another bad guy's basically.
Yes.
So that's kind of, they might be following that trend even more closely than we think. You know, I'm surprised they just didn't go all out and have it set in Las Vegas, but then
It's too much.
maybe that's just too far to go.
You know, and that's like, you know, that child appropriate too. Like you can sit in a regular city, not Vegas.
We'll see how they go with this one, but you know, we got a franchise on our hand. We got the second movie coming out here. It'll probably do just fine. The kids will like it, and we get a new cast of fun characters, other bad girls too. Like you said, they could probably show up in other sequels here, and they can keep expanding.
They can sell more toys.
We get there, and like we should make a prediction now. How many of these bad guy films will they make? I'm saying at least 4.
We might get a third one. If this one does well, we'll probably get a third one.
I mean, I think that's a guarantee. How many franchises end at 2? They all go at a 3 at least.
Yeah.
We'll get a Sing 3 eventually. You know we will.
I hope not. I like Sing 2, but I don't know where they would possibly go from there. Unless they're like fighting an alien invasion with singing. It just gave him a great idea. Steven's like,
that's Star Trek Beyond kind of ended.
I feel like there was an episode of Rick and Morty where that was the plot as well.
I think, you could probably repel. Well, actually, no. That's the plot of. That's how Mars Attacks ends.
Exactly.
They stop the aliens with singing.
Yeah, Conway Twitty, right?
Exactly. Which appropriate.
I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
All right, well, we'll take a look at our next trailer here, which I think we got for the one of the Coen brothers, not the
Coen brother.
Coen brothers.
Which Coen brother again?
Coen brother. Ethan, I think.
This is
Ethan. Steven's nodding. This one's Ethan.
All
Take
right.
a look at the trailer for Honey Don't here.
Address you wanted?
Thanks, MJ.
Honey, right? Love those click-clacking heels.
Why is a private investigator looking into our church?
This girl was afraid of something the cops couldn't help her with. Can you help me? Yeah.
Another?
Oh, we're ready to get out of here.
The French are not gonna like this.
Now we gotta kill him. Honey, don't. Hey, what are you doing tonight?
I don't know why you can't get it through your head. I like girls.
You always say that.
Rated R. Only in theaters August 22nd.
Okay, so I have not done any research on this, beyond the fact that it's a Coen brother that did it. I usually like to take notes and let's look into this movie and give you some details about who else has worked on it and all that. I see Margaret Qualley and Charlie Day and Chris Evans.
Yep.
Interesting cast. I like Chris Evans a lot, and when he's not playing Captain America. I mean, not that I didn't love him as Captain America, but I like when he gets to branch out and do fun things.
At least it looks like he's playing the bad guy here. At least someone who's pretty sketchy here.
He's definitely the bad guy. I saw a longer trailer.
I mean, I did too. He's not a good guy. I can tell that from the trailer. But I kind of feel, just because some of the stuff he was talking about, it strikes me that there's probably 3 or 4 different people working against this one. Like I'm guessing that there was some bad deal that Chris Evans' character didn't do so good on, and that's why we had a murder here. And he's not necessarily involved with that, but he knows who is, and he's trying to cover up the other bad stuff he did.
Conspiracy.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of what it is, because I was getting, Ethan Coen is, of course, behind this one here, but I am getting the Coen brothers vibe from it a bit. I was kind of reminded a little bit of their, some of their earlier work, they kind of do this noir kind of style thing.
Yeah, well, Hail Caesar has some noir styles to it, and
that's what I'm kind of getting from this one too, actually.
Definitely, you got your femme fatale. Yeah, could be Aubrey Plaza who's the bad guy.
Yeah, could be, and I don't know. It even got some early Blood Simple vibes to this a little bit here, so I'm really excited to watch it because no one can do that noir quite like.
I enjoy their films, and I'll probably see this one just because I watch most of their films eventually. I probably won't see this one in theaters just because.
I'll probably have to double check it out just because there was You know, when I first saw this trailer, it was in a film we were watching. I can't remember what movie we were seeing, but I was with my fiance, and she got really excited right off the bat. And I'm like, why? Well, the song they're playing in the opening is spooky. And you're like, oh, because that's the song I used to propose to my wife. Soon-to-be wife. So she's like, it's our song. I'm like, you're right, we have to see it. You're right, we have to see it now. Although, to be fair, this is a cover of it, the version I did use the original. Nice. But still, I have to appreciate that needle drop too, just for that reason. Cool. And again, original film. It's not they're not.
Yes, no,
this isn't a sequel to anything.
I'm excited. I'll see it eventually, just because I see almost all that. I think I didn't see maybe that last one, whatever that one was. But because I haven't had the chance yet, not because I'm avoiding any Coen Brothers movies. Although, which one I did not like was Cowboy, John Wayne remake there.
Oh, True Grit.
True Grit. Did not love it. I did not love True Grit, and probably an unpopular opinion, but I found it to be very boring.
Well, you know, if you saw the original True Grit, you probably didn't need to see their version of it, although I think they were trying.
I didn't like the original either, though.
well, there you go. Then I don't know what you're talking about. There's no, come on. What are you doing?
I like westerns too. I never liked those
because
ones.
it was based on a book and they were trying to be faithful to the book. That kind of hurts.
Could be. I also think I just don't like John Wayne that much either.
Yeah.
Although again, you know, Stagecoach, The Searchers, Alamo, I like those ones. But like the average John Wayne, I'm not into.
But we maybe don't have that problem here because again, looks like an original work.
Absolutely, yes.
I don't know where the idea came from. This one kind of came out of nowhere because I didn't know they were even working on it.
I had to complain about something.
I know.
It's illegal for me not to complain about
I know, and that's why we love you. You're coming anyways. And I have to be try to be somewhat of a voice of reason usually. I think when we're both just complaining, that's when we know we have a problem.
That's when it's probably going to be not a great movie. Although, didn't we both complain about Lilo and Stitch, and that's like the most popular movie this year?
Yeah,
it burns me.
It burns something, but you know what? I think, maybe.
I think we were just mad because we knew it was going to do well, and that makes us mad.
Yeah, I think, and to be fair, maybe that is kind of what we try to do here. We want people to be, no, give this film a chance. Think about this film. Come on,
go see something other than the top 3 movies. Although I go see Superman. I saw it. It was great.
It's a good movie. That's the thing is we got to recommend it because. You want better films.
Yes.
You gotta go see a better film.
Agreed.
That's how you do it.
If you go see Lilo and Stitch for the 45th time, they're not gonna make anything other than that.
Exactly. You can't. That's the problem. Now you may feel like you have to. Now I understand. Like some parents feel they have to go to the film. They have no choice because their kids are asking for.
That's why I went to the Minecraft movie.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And that's another movie that was a huge success too.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of other films where it's like, that's. You feel like you almost have to go to them. No. And then to be fair, maybe you do. Maybe you have to. But then go see something else too. Go see something else.
Yeah, and we're complaining a lot when Sinners was probably like the 3rd most watched movie this year.
Which is great.
It's great. It's an original film, and good on the audience for going to see it.
Thank you. We want, and that's the thing is and that is one of the nice parts is like the really good movies the audience will eventually find.
Yes.
But what I would argue. If they find them early, right when they're in the theater still, that helps out later on down the line because then that sends the studio message like, hey, they're gonna willing to watch this.
Steven was talking about Heaven's Gate earlier this week, and I just kept repeating, "Oh, that bankrupted United Artists." Every time he said anything, that's all I would reply to him. Great movie, I'm sure, but it bankrupted United Artists.
And that's what happens there.
Yeah.
That's what
we don't want to bankrupt these studios that make original and fun and beautiful films. Go see them.
So you got to check them out. And this one, in some ways it feels safe because it is a Coen Brothers film. They have their own little. And there's a lot of really good actors in here, like you said. So I think the good pedigree. So I think the film will probably be okay.
Hopefully.
Probably do good. It does have the the thing about it is because it is an R-rated movie. I'm guessing that's where you get the cutoff where parents
didn't matter for Sinners.
That's true. So maybe we're starting something new here. Hopefully we can go that.
Kids don't have any money. Adults do.
Adults do. Yeah. And this is the movie that the adults want to see because this movie's fun and entertaining.
Speaking of movies adults want to see, we got a trailer here for what I would consider to be a peak dad movie.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's a dad movie about a dad for dads.
Yeah,
everything.
Let's take a look at the trailer for Nobody 2.
What's up, guys? I'm not gonna fight you. I'm here on vacation. No. Come on. Use your words. Now no one gets the pole. It's just supposed to be a tourist.
Where don't you know? Where don't you know? I'm on vacation!
Who is this nobody? Take him out.
Hey!
They're coming after our family. Go fix it.
So help us. Just another master's vacation.
Let's do this!
I just want a break.
Who sent you? His better half.
I'm here with my family. Making memories.
Hutch, after this vacation, we need a vacation.
Yay. See, I didn't see the first one, but my dad loved it.
Oh, it's great.
Of all of the like John Wick clones that we got post John Wick, this one seems to be one of the ones that kind of broke through a little bit.
It did. And I saw the original, and I love the original Nobody because, yeah, it's a John Wick clone. There's a lot of stuff they're miming from that, but they decided, let's lean more into the comedy.
Yeah.
And to some extent, even the heart of it more. There's a little bit more heart to this one just because, yeah, he's kind of going for coming out of retirement to get, that's how that first one kind of started. But there's more heart in him trying to save his family thing. There's not as much necessarily the tragedy dark side thing.
Yeah.
No one has to die for him to go on his revenge crazed fuel thing he's trying to do here. And it just had a more, to some extent, optimistic approach to it. It helps that we have a comedic actor in the lead to, and that just makes it more funny that someone, because you kind of expect Keanu Reeves to be able to take out a room full of guys, but
he's got the pedigree for it.
Yeah, but Odenkirk, guy who used to write for Saturday Night Live, you're not really expecting, really him as a top. Yeah, he can make it work. He found a way.
Yeah,
and there's also even kind of the meta joke because, and I'm so glad he's back here. But in the original movie, one of the jokes was that the main character's father was a retired FBI agent played by Christopher Lloyd. And you think Christopher Lloyd, he's in basically a nursing home when we first meet him.
Yeah.
But it turns out, no, he's still got a lot left in him. And there's like the big surprise ending. It's Odenkirk and Christopher Lloyd are fighting together alongside of each other. Christopher Lloyd is wielding 2 shotguns at one time, which that image alone is hilarious. That's like the funniest thing ever. Which is like, and I'm looking it up. Christopher Lloyd's he's in his 90s. Yeah. He's doing this, and he's back. They showed him. He's in this one, and I'm like, yay! They brought Christopher, I love Christopher, who is one of the great comedic actors ever. Like, what if Christopher Lloyd was tough and could fight people too? It's so funny.
Yes, yeah.
I love that concept, and so we're going to get that more in this one. They're bringing the whole family, and in the previous one, his wife and kids were kind of left to the side, trying to protect them. This time looks like they're assisting him to some extent a little bit.
Fun.
And gosh, that's funny.
Yeah. I'm excited. I have to see the first one first before I see the second one. But if it was good enough to get a sequel, and I do like Bob Odenkirk, I'll have to check it out eventually. Yeah. It's one of those ones that's always been on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Check
it out. And again, it is a sequel, and we kind of we lament sequels here a bit sometimes. It's like, oh, it's not original. I do appreciate that, though this is a sequel, they are at least trying something different. The family's on vacation for the first one was they were kind of homebound in the town and the city and kind of doing stuff, and his office at work. This one we're like, we're on a vacation, we're off doing stuff here, and they're bringing Grandpa along too. That's why Christopher Lloyd's in it. And actually, he has a brother who helps him out too, who I saw running around in the background. So they're bringing a big family vacation thing. Another trailer for this I saw, started with them using the song "Holiday Road," and then it looks like they were trying to do a reference to the vacation movies here. So it's like, what if those vacation movies were really tough action films, and Griswold had to fight some people actually in a physical
You've got
combat.
the set piece with the amusement park too.
Exactly, that's what they're kind of. And so, just even that little twist to make it a little original, put a little spin on it
Yeah.
too, makes me a little bit, okay, it's not just a repeat by numbers thing here. So that's fine. If we're gonna make the Nobody series into a franchise, I don't really have too much of a problem with it.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm a little excited. I've seen so many of these John Wick clones, you know, like I can't even think of all of them, but you know, I'll start watching a movie and then realize, oh, it's just a John Wick clone.
Yeah, we don't need that.
You know, which I think isn't even fair because there were movies that did that kind of stuff before John Wick, and
I think what sets the John Wick films apart, and then also even Nobody to some extent, is like they are a real focus on the actual choreography of the fights.
Yes.
Of making it look good. For so long, it's still a problem actually this day. There's a lot of films that have fight sequences in them. Their fight sequences are very common, especially in our comic book laden world, but there's CGI.
Yep.
So it's just computer graphics punching each other. And there's maybe an explosion and sparks. You're
Or
not.
it's like so over edited that every single action has 30 cuts and they're just covering the fact that none of the actors can do any of the
they're
things
not
they're
touching
being
each other.
portrayed
It
to
doesn't
do.
look good.
Yeah.
It's not. It's really hard to do that because even with all these comic book movies, which the concept is these are people who fight each other all the time, supposed to be physically tough. You don't really get fight sequences because even the Batman movies, they put Batman in a giant rubber suit that couldn't move, so he'd be just like, blah, blah, and they have to put
Can't turn his neck.
Can't turn his neck, and it's like, this isn't fun. This isn't a good action sequence in terms of, it was years before we got really, really good fight sequences. That's where John Wick kind of came. And that came from because Keanu Reeves was working with the stunt coordinators from the Matrix movie. The Matrix movies were good. The fights were good in those movies. Those were fantastic.
They used wires and everything, but they still made it look great.
And they used people who were actually experts in it, and they made it look good. And he said, what if we used those guys and they directed it? That's why the John Wick movies work, because that's who's directing these things. The people who are the stunt, they're focusing on them to make them look good. They're not CGI. They're actually physically doing them. And that's actually why Nobody kind of works. There really aren't putting that much CGI into these films. Odenkirk, he's doing it. They're making
very
it look
impressive
good.
work.
He's doing his best. He's getting into physical shape to kind of do this stuff here. And it should be noted though, like shortly after that first Nobody, Odenkirk actually suffered a bad heart attack. His health was it was close. He survived obviously, but he put his work into it, and it darn near killed him too to some extent.
Well, hopefully this one was a little more relaxed for him.
Hopefully it did. It looks like he had the rest of the cast helping out and pulling there, so maybe that made it. Maybe they found a way, and maybe he's getting healthier too, so he can keep doing these things. But I think that's it. Just with the world of so much CGI and just not really everyone pulling their punches, when we actually see a really good physical fight, it's just a good throwback to the old days where we like those kind of movie. That's what we want.
Like just solidly choreographed action. Thank God for John Wick giving us that back, but specifically the revenge plot clones that I'm talking about. Because I love the revolution in action after John Wick. You saw every single movie had to increase their quality of choreography just because of that movie. I mean, like even movies that are ostensibly have nothing to do with action and fight sequences, when they do have that involved, the level of quality of those has like gone up exponentially since John Wick, because it's just the audience expectation changed. I blame very specifically the Bourne Identity movies for giving us that terrible tidal wave of shortcut action that just looked like garbage. It ruined so many movies after that. I can think of examples of movies like not Casino Royale, but the other two that came after Casino Royale. They had that shortcut action, and it was awful.
Yeah, you're right. Because Quantum of Solace was like the worst perpetrator of everything.
And like think about Casino Royale, where you had long take action, and it looked great. It didn't have many action sequences.
No, it didn't.
And then you go cut to Quantum of Solace like 2 years later, but it was after Bourne.
A little quick, really.
And it's all shortcuts and all little quick action,
Yep.
and it's incomprehensible.
Yeah, to some extent, that is the other problem, and you're right. That's another thing where that just the quick edit too, where it's just that's another thing. If audiences are ever really bored and watching a movie, look how often they cut away and there's little edits in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of quick edits is not always a sign of a bad movie.
Not always.
Not always. There's some exceptions for that where they have to do that, but if they're doing quick edits during action scenes, like, why?
It's probably because the actors couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's to try to hide the fact that...
Unlike Bob Odenkirk and Nobody.
Well, one of the worst examples, going back to a Liam Neeson film, Taken 3.
Yes.
There's a famous sequence
70-year-old Taken 3 where he's like trying to climb over the fence.
It's infamous.
Like
there's
45 cuts or something.
Yeah, he has to climb or jump a fence, a chain link fence, and they cut like, I don't know, 20 times. And it's like, really?
Yeah.
It's like, just get an actor in the distance, so get his stand-in to just jump a fence.
You got to get what is it, Hot Fuzz, where he's like, the stunt double does a flip over the fence for Nick Frost.
They hide it, and it's like, well, that's at least then it's funny. But and that's the other thing too. It's just we want to get that quick. And just from this trailer we got for Nobody 2, doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of quick cuts. They have some long takes though, just from the scenes here. We can see that they're going to throw it in there, and
They actually went out and did the acting and the action, and then the stunt doubles did all their work, and it's good to see quality artists working and providing quality entertainment. Now, I think we should move on to our next film here, which is a Darren Aronofsky film, I'm fairly certain.
Ooh.
It looks a little bit more, dare I say, fun than his usual fare. Not that his films are not fun, but also they're
comedic.
Frequently films I don't want to watch twice.
They're usually dour.
They're very dour. I'll never watch Black Swan again. I saw it. It was great. I'll never watch it again.
All right, well, we'll show the audience.
So let's take a look at the trailer for Caught Stealing here.
Such a nice small town boy.
You like baseball, dogs.
I need you to take care of my cat.
Where's Russ?
He's not here.
You know not to mess with us, yes?
What did you get me into?
They're scary monsters, and you're their fall guy.
That's not happening. Buckle your seatbelt.
Caught Stealing, exclusively in movie theaters, August 29.
It's a little departure from Aronofsky's normal stuff there.
It's usually very heavy and
sad. Yeah. This one, and I've seen longer trailers of this one, and they really emphasize the comedy of it, where we got a lot of mob-related stuff there, and he's going off of a bunch of other people, and there's a kind of running joke. I thought it was just a one-off joke, but it looks like even from this trailer, it's going to be continued where he angered the Hebrew mob, basically.
Yes, I think that is an integral part of the film. From what I could tell based on another trailer is that there may in fact be 3 parties after a large pile of cash.
That seems to be what it's about, yes.
That this character is for some reason involved with. And
because based on, the trailer kind of spelled it a little bit, but basically our Austin Butler, our main character, is house sitting and watching a cat, and it's a mistaken identity thing, and so they think he's someone else, which could even be a throwback to North by Northwest,
Yes,
some extent like that.
Mistaken identity trope.
Except this one going more for comedy, and it seems more like the mob really than just spies or anything like that. And it's a pretty. They're going for the and also, did I catch that right? It was set in 1998.
It is, yes. Which 1998 New York City, if anybody knows. The Yankees were very big at the time, so baseball was huge. I mean so he's a former baseball player from what I could gather, or like a minor leaguer or something, or he just
well, the baseball bat comes into play. I've seen it from trailers. He's fighting some fight sequences in there, so we might get some good choreographed fights in this one too.
It looks like from what I've seen that it's going to be pretty heavy in terms of the action.
Yeah, we get some good crime drama here too, but like you said. A little different from what Aronofsky normally does. I don't know if he's really done a lot of straight crime drama so much before. He's done this stuff crime adjacent, but a lot of his stuff tends to be dour and kind of a little depressing to some extent.
This looks fun though. I didn't know it was Aronofsky when I saw the trailer. I thought, wow, this looks like kind of fun.
It doesn't look like something he
Steven told me it was Aronofsky, and I was like, what?
I did catch that from one of the other trailers. It does not seem like it. It's a departure from what he would normally do.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm too. It's like you're allowed to do that, and so it makes it more interesting. So it's like, what made him decide to depart at this point? and do this something different.
I didn't get
don't
a
know.
chance to look too much at the cast list. Besides, Austin Butler plays the lead. Zoe Kravitz is his like girlfriend, maybe.
Yep, she's in it. She was narrating.
You got Matt Smith there as
Yep.
I think he's the friend he's house sitting for.
Yes, he's
or
the
like-
guy who actually stole the money, probably.
Yes, yeah.
The big punker with the big mohawk, which made me think that this was the 80s for a bit. But nope, it is the 90s.
No, you still had Liberty Spikes in the 90s. My cousin, I remember, had Liberty Spikes.
He's very British. They didn't change that. He is a British actor, and he's playing British. So a British punker with Liberty Spikes here in New York City in '98.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff, but that's another thing that looks like, because there's the joke reference that one of the groups he angered was the Hebrew mob there.
Yep.
So it looks like they're really going into the differences in the melting pot nature of New York City at that period, and really look how different and weird this is, and the different boroughs and the different factions we got going on here, and we're gonna have other little things happen like that. It's just be so funny there.
I'm excited. I may see this one. I'm gonna try and talk my wife into going on a date at some point this month, and I think this would be on my list to go see. Just because I think it looks like, and she likes Matt Smith because she was a big Doctor Who fan back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So like she would maybe be into go see this one.
Well, we'll see. He's playing a different, very different from Doctor Who.
Nah, whatever. Who cares? I don't need to tell her that.
Nah, that's fine.
Oh, all right. Well, Steven, do you have any trivia for us for today? No trivia today.
All right.
I think we were supposed to talk about the 50th anniversary of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ooh.
So this is the 50th anniversary this month, August,
Mm-hmm.
of the premiere of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Sure.
So notably about Rocky Horror Picture Show is that it did not do terribly well upon its premiere.
No, it did not.
It was a film that built on a cult audience.
Yeah.
It's interesting we talk about these movies and original properties specifically so much.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes, they do not do well financially initially. It's the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to bring something up here, and I want to get your thoughts on this, because it's a topic that I feel like is pretty interesting to me. With the advent of streaming services, physical media has sort of taken a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And that has led to a lot of really great films sort of not receiving a second run, in my opinion.
Yep.
People will say that streaming gives second life to films all the time, but I feel like the immediacy of it has led to a decline in, the longevity of certain films. And will we ever see a cult hit like Rocky Horror Picture Show again?
Yeah, that is... I pretty much agree with your concerns here, everything you said. I was reminded of, I'm going to take it back, throw it to a different film I remember that didn't do the greatest when it first came out. In 1997, the movie, first Austin Powers movies didn't do that
Really?
great.
Yeah.
In theater, it didn't do that great. It didn't do great in theater. It got okay reviews, 'cause it's hilarious. But
It is hilarious.
But then, it did really well on home video. The rentals for it were amazing. They did so well. And that was actually something that happened a lot in the 90s. There's quite a few movies that in the 90s didn't do the greatest in the theaters, but when they got released to Blockbuster in the theater and people could rent them, then they killed. Another movie like that, The Shawshank Redemption. That movie didn't do very good. It got nominated for Oscars, but it didn't do very good in the theaters. Didn't make
That was
much.
a great year, though. So
It was. 94 was a difficult year.
People missed it maybe because they were just
also
too many things to see.
Exactly, but and another movie in that would fit in there, also 94. I'm a big fan of Ed Wood. That movie took a while for people to really come around to and figure out that was great too. Got Oscar noms, but it didn't do very good until later on. Although it was still that one was a little bummer scratch even on when it got to VHS.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that happened. But movies could get a second life if someone discovered them, like if Blockbuster said we need more copies of this movie because people are renting it constantly. That would help. And then even the television channels would be like, oh man, we're really rerunning this show a lot. We get viewership every time we screen this film on TNT or something like that.
Shawshank Redemption.
Exactly. And then it worked really well, and then that would help the movie out there. We don't have that so much with streaming because, okay, maybe the streaming numbers are up for one movie or so or whatever.
Could
but
that part of that be that we're, like the public or at least industry isn't shared what the actual numbers are
Yep.
for streaming.
No, you're right. That's another problem with it because they're not sharing it. It's like Netflix is famously not. They will sometimes say this was our best streaming.
Yeah.
Maybe they're telling the truth, maybe they're not. But we don't know what the numbers are on that movie, how well it did, and if there isn't a way for. That was the other thing is, back in the video store era. If a movie was being checked out a lot and they couldn't keep it on stock,
You knew.
You knew it was good,
Yeah.
and then you would get more copies. And if those ones also sold out, were also being rented and being purchased, then you knew you had something. And the studio's like, you know, it didn't do good in theaters, but
it's
we
not
can.
just that; it's the communal experience too.
Yeah.
Because when you're at the Blockbuster or whatever, and you're physically there, seeing people check this movie out 2, 3, 4 times while you're there, you think to yourself, "Well, that must be pretty good. I'll have to check that one out
There's
next."
something onto that, yeah.
You know,
That's a big part of what's happening. We're probably. It's really hard to get the cult movies going these days. I don't know how much of it, just because, you know, the word of mouth is. It's not as. It's harder to get that there.
I've been trying to get Steven to watch some streaming shows and movies for years. People just don't care because they have access to so much.
They have that too. So it kind of makes it. It's. You know, it's kind of funny though, because I do remember. I'm old enough to remember the video store era when you're going through.
Yeah, me too.
Man, there's so many options. Which one do I go with? Do I take a chance on one of these new films here, or do I grab an old standby here? You don't know. It's kind of the same phenomenon to some extent with streaming these days. Although, you know, where you just have all these spoiled for choices here, they're available on one of the streaming networks. You can probably find the show you're looking for.
I found that is less and less the case, though, especially if you're looking for specific movies, and anything from the era of like 1982 to like 1995 is such a black hole on streaming in terms of like, if it's not a specific studio that has their own specific streaming platform, generally they're hard to find.
You know, you're right. There's been eras where I've been trying to find a specific film on streaming, and it's just it's not there for whatever reason, because just no one saw the need for it or the value of it too. But that was the benefit of having some of these old video stores. They would keep the film at least one copy, so you could go back all the way to the 80s and even further back, 60s. That didn't matter if they had movies that they brought on there, they would be available on there. The streaming services, though, just even though they have a weird habit of like moving or shuffling them or taking certain ones off,
or just like disappearing entire stuff.
That's the other thing too. Like we started about talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show and how it didn't do good right off the bat. But then it had a new life, you know, after that when it became a cult classic.
Well, imagine if it went on streaming and then they decided to kill it for financial reasons, never to be seen or heard from again.
This movie isn't a good film, so we're not gonna do much with it. And then
it generated controversy. We should make it go away,
or something like that. Yeah, but you know, it's still possible. Like one of the things that saved Rocky Horror even then, and could have potential even now today, Rocky Horror is a musical.
Yes.
So they had that
great music too.
Exactly. Recently, we've kind of seen a similar, not to the same extent, but with Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman, when that came out in the theaters a few years ago, not a huge hit.
It did all right.
It did okay in theaters, but then it got brought back. They threw subtitles on it, became a sing-along experience, which is that huge hit.
People loved that movie. Yeah. I didn't. I thought it was kind of meh.
Well, that's the thing. No, that's the thing, and like it goes back and forth. And I'm sure that's added because I haven't seen the full thing yet. But I've heard other people who saw it and like you were like, it's kind of meh. But then it just, because the singing aspect, the music was good, and they liked the music. There's a couple songs.
Yeah.
This Is Me really caught on.
That one caught on for a lot of people.
It doesn't hurt that, we have, Hugh Jackman in there.
I like Hugh Jackman. I'm a big fan of Les Mis. I'm the guy who
Zendaya, they're all in there. They're all some big names. But that helps too. But I think just that communal aspect of it, because it's a big sing-along kind of thing too, and that's what Rocky Horror is, and why that one caught on.
Big
and they were doing
communal experiences,
doing the midnight screening things where you had to actually go there, because to really understand the appeal of Rocky Horror, you needed to have the communal people there. Everyone's there. Get a shadow cast going. Get everyone else there.
That sounds like too much for me.
It should be noted that basically Rocky Horror is the longest running in theaters. Basically, it never left. Technically, there's always a theater playing it somewhere. There's no.
We've played it in town a couple times.
Yes, we have here. And the thing is, someone's always doing it. There's some theaters that's what they're dedicated to. We're going to show the movie at Friday, every Friday until the heat death of the universe, And they'll get people show like, well, we can always go to that one theater that plays it always in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or whatever like that.
Yep.
And I had a friend from Milwaukee. He's like, yeah, there was a theater that just all the
Always,
time. We could always go check it out. It was screening at some point.
Oh my God.
And they would do like the special games for everything too, and get it to be a big event. So it was more than just the movie. It's like you got to get dressed up for this movie. You got to prepare for the movie. You got to get your whatever you're gonna throw at the screen, your toaster, whatever your cards. You have to. It just audience involvement too with it. And that might be one of the problems with the streaming area is the streaming audience involvement is so minimal because all you have to do is click.
Yep.
You don't even have to put a disc in the player anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to physically move the disc and remember where you put and put that in.
And oftentimes it's a solitary experience.
It's solitary,
you know?
And
movies are meant to be watched together.
And some of these streaming things, they'll just start whether you don't even have to hit play because they're like, oh, you're still watching. Here's the next one, and they'll give a couple seconds, then the credits come.
Yeah,
and
I fell asleep watching The Dirty Dozen last night. And I woke up and it was, it wasn't The Dirty Dozen. It was one of the other ones from the '60s. There, I don't know.
See, that's the problem. See, like it's just like you're not watching it on streaming. You're not you don't have to because it's just there in the background. You didn't buy a ticket to go check it out.
Exactly.
You didn't rent it. There's no obligation to pay attention. You can just like, well, it's in the background there. I'll watch it. I'll do something on my phone.
Kelly's Heroes. I woke up. It was Kelly's Heroes.
Wow, you fell asleep in
I fell asleep during The Dirty Dozen. I woke up. It was
That's
Kelly's
brave
Heroes.
of you to admit that you could fall asleep during The Dirty Dozen.
It was like 11:30, and I put it on. I watched like a half hour of it. And I must have fallen asleep before I went to bed because I was doing laundry. And I woke up.
See, that's the other thing. You're doing laundry while watching a movie. Come on.
Well, it takes 5 minutes to go.
I know
flip the
what you're
laundry.
doing.
I
I'm
just
guilty
pause
of it too.
and I go do it.
But that's part of that's kind of the downfall of the streaming era too, because it's just. I sometimes wonder, even when you have a film that's a huge hit on streaming, did they really watch it? Were the people?
I did, Clay.
You did. You did. I did.
I was doing my laundry the whole time.
Or how many people?
7 kids. It's a lot of laundry, Clay.
I know it is, man. I know it is. We'll train one of the kids to do laundry eventually, but we'll get there. But yeah, that's one of the concerns here is that that just the media is always in a state of flux. There, we'll see how it survives. I'm sure we'll continue to have.
We're just the old men yelling at clouds here.
The cloud, where that's the streaming cloud.
Yeah, right. Oh, there you go.
That's the cloud we're yelling at. I think we might still have some big hits, but the thing is, what surprises me again about Rocky Horror, again, it hasn't stopped. It just keeps going. There's no other film that really happens with.
I mean, I would say. Metropolis is screening a lot.
They do screen some of those old classics. I mean, you can probably get a good screening out of, say, Casablanca. You could probably do a big thing with that too.
I feel like King Kong shows a lot too.
Sound of Music probably you could do. And again,
absolute classic right there.
I think because the sing-along nature too. Like here's the funny thing is, you probably could have gotten away with doing all constant, never-ending screenings of A Sound of Music. They probably could have gotten. I think there is probably, but the difference is you wouldn't have been able to do it as a midnight movie. That's what you can do with that with Rocky Horror.
First of all, it's too long to be a midnight movie because it's like 4 hours long.
That's probably another one too. But just you need some kind of film that's just the right time, right audience to get it there. And I don't know if we're creating an atmosphere so that we can really get this going to. And the thing is, I'm not even sure if Rocky Horror, I'm sure there's some service where you can purchase it to stream right now if you wanted to. I'm not sure which one, but it's not that regularly available. You
know what? It's always showing in a theater near you.
That's why you don't need it there.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder, like, if another studio wanted to try that, if they thought they could possibly do that, if that was even ever possible for us to get anything even close to Rocky Horror, which in some ways Rocky Horror is the ultimate cult film. I don't know if we'll ever get anything quite as extreme. There's some smaller communities will occasionally, like I heard like Winnipeg always would do the Phantom of the Paradise was always be screening there. That one had a big hit, but that's a regional one.
Yeah.
And some other times, I think Harold and Maude had a multi-year screening thing in this Twin Cities. Actually, was a big thing for years there.
Interesting.
But these they do eventually. They don't last too long. You can just there's this weird
Office
bubble
Space was a big one for a while.
Yeah,
I feel like since that corporate culture has sort of drifted away,
people
the
don't
popularity of it.
They're not in the office anymore.
Exactly.
Right? So that could be part of it. But I think also the nature of Rocky Horror being a throwback to old school horror movies also helped too. So it was always dated to begin with. So it always seems it's always in some ways a weirdly timely, just because that.
I think it's weirdly timely too, because it's an interesting critique on our repressed culture too.
Yeah.
Like that's never gone away.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
never gone
So
away.
like that connection it makes to the audience in 1975, you still make with the audience today. You know.
Mm-hmm. I think that might be kind of the way it goes, just because it's just that always ever present.
Yeah.
They're gonna be there. But we'll see if we can ever get anything big. I'm reluctant to leave on that sour of note, but I kind of worry that we might not get anything quite.
Well, let's change to what movie we're coming up here in August for baseball.
Yes. Our New Ulm Film Society screening now. We've gone through 3 films here, and now when we were trying to go in the chronological order of when they take place, last month we screened 42, which is the Jackie Robinson story. Went over quite well. We had some people in there quite a few people hadn't seen the movie before, came in and watched it and were really excited about it and learned quite a bit from Jackie Robinson, so we love that. So, but now, because Jackie Robinson, that's the 40s, 50s era, now we've taken a leapfrog and gone into the 70s, and we will be screening Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears, yes.
Which is it's a comedy, and this one, basically it's about young kids, the youth baseball in the 70s we're there, and we have Walter Matthau as the alcoholic coach trying to teach these young whippersnappers.
Good old Walter Matthau, playing a grouch always.
And it's the kind of I don't know, I think it might have been one of the first of the kind of concept of, what if we did a sports movie, but it's children?
I can't really remember.
I don't know if there's a one that was old, because
before that.
Yeah, because that's about when it started. Because I think we probably had some youth sports movies before this, but with the Bad News Bears, it's just this was like the first time they really went. And it's pretty funny comedy. They went all out in the 70s there. They weren't really worried about being too precious around children. And so that makes it there's just a funnier kind of film to check out there, and it led to some other ones too. The Bad News Bears had sequels too.
Yep.
I just think there's a lot of kids movies where kids are playing baseball. It would lead to that. Sandlot's a little different than that because we don't have, but you get the same idea.
But you get all the spiritual sequels, even Mighty Ducks would be, and Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell.
Yep.
And,
any kids movie where the kids are competing in sports, but they're the underdogs. And
the underdogs, kind of a scrappy, hapless team, and
it's just
no end to the number of.
You can get some good comedy out of this, but this is the one that kind of started it all. So we can just show it's a different type of baseball movie, but it's still.
Hey, it's still baseball.
It's still baseball. That's kind of why we did it. It's just let's show you the different styles and different attitudes toward it, because our first 3 films were kind of about showing the professional side of it. We're kind of showing even some of the cases, at least 2 of the movies, they were actual people. It was based on actual events. But this one, we're gonna just show you, hey, it's funny. Let's have fun. Let's have fun with it. There's a more to it than just, we don't have to be these serious period drama. That was another thing interesting, because the films that we watched so far in the baseball series have all been set in the past. None of them were contemporary. This movie was released in the 70s, set in the 70s. It's a period film now, but it wasn't that when they came out.
I think it's just an old film. It's not a period.
It's old. That's funny, because it actually is the oldest of the films we've watched so far, because all the other ones were from the 80s or even 2013.
Yeah.
So we were jumping back quite a bit in August for our screening here of the Bad News Bears. So that's kind of fun.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Mike.
I'm Clay.
Go see a movie.
Yeah.